So hello everybody and welcome back to another video. As you can tell, I'm in my new place. If you've been a watcher of my videos, that's all I've been rambling on about recently is moving to a new flat. And I'm obviously here with my new background. How cute are my bookshelves? Sneak peek, we will have a whole bookshelf tour and bookshelf video coming, I think it's after this video, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But today we've got a humongous book haul. Book unhaul. We are not adding any more books to this collection. We are taking away. I've got 100+ books here. I don't want to count them. I don't want to. But I'll show you a clip of what is in front of me right now. I've got so many books. Just, they need to go. They need to go, okay? I just got too many. I'm never going to read them. All the books that I've already got like second copies on. They need to go. And all the money that I get from these books is going to my Australia fund. So, you know, help a girl out. Some of these books are going to be given to charity. Some of them are going up my Vinted. I think my Vinted's down below in the description, so make sure you go follow my Vinted because these books will be going up as soon as possible because I need them out of my flat because I'm sick of boxes. So make sure you follow my Vinted so you can get your hands on some of these books. So grab yourself a little fun drink, whatever you want to drink. I've got myself a cherry tango because I've been obsessed recently. So yeah, grab your drink and let's just get into this book unhaul because I need to get this done and out the way because it's hot. So I don't know where to start. I think I'm just going to start with the books that are out and then we'll get to the boxes because the boxes is where the most books are. So let's just start with all the books that's out. Also I want to say we're going to be going through these quick fire because we've got a lot to get through. Some of them I have good reasonings for, other ones I just don't think I'm ever going to get to because I might be moving to Australia, so I need to get rid of some of my book collection. But first up we have, which might be a shock, we've got this is the wrong way around. Great Starbury. We've got my Fourth Wing hardback collection. I made the decision when I was building my bookshelves that I want to get rid of these because I have the paperbacks, and even though I love the series, like I've mentioned, you're going to hear this a lot, okay? I'm going to Australia in December and I'm like joining on to like a 6-week tour of like the East Coast, but I plan on staying out there. For how long? I don't know. We don't know, honestly. 6 months is like what I'd want to, like 6 months to a year is what I want to stay out there for, but I could end up loving it. I could end up moving over there permanently. We don't know. I don't know what my life is going to be like in a year's time. So downsizing my book collection is needed, and if I did ever move out there permanently, shipping over hardbacks will be quite expensive, so I'm trying to get rid of some of my hardbacks. But we've got Fourth Wing, Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. I also don't like how the UK versions don't really match. Obviously this is the special edition, the Waterstones exclusive edition. The standard gold one is in the boxes somewhere, so that will come up later. But I hate like why is it gone? Like I know that this is like Onyx Storm, so it's black, but oh my god, imagine like with the gold one here, they just don't match and I don't like them. Whereas all of the paperbacks are all black spines with like the different coloured foiling on the clouds. I much prefer them. So I'm going to be giving these away. I need to somehow work out where I'm gonna put all these books on the floor. Next up, which might be another shock to you guys, is my new covers of the Magnolia Parks books. I don't like these covers. I literally just bought these for the sake of buying them. I much prefer the OG covers. They're much nicer. They're literally works of art. I much prefer them, so I've kept them. And I also have the hardback special editions from Waterstones as well. I had them for my birthday, and I know for a fact the Daisy Hates ones are going to come out, so I'm going to have like a matching set because at the minute we do just have the Magnolia Parks ones, but I know we are going to get a Daisy Hates one, obviously, to be a matching set. So I've got the hardbacks and I've got the OG covers. I don't need these covers as well, but I will say I don't know what to do with this book because this is like all tabbed and I think I've like underlined. Have I underlined in here? Oh no, I haven't. Oh my god, okay, I love that. Let me look at the start. Sometimes I underline stuff and then I give up halfway through. No, I've literally just tabbed this book. Okay, so I think I got this on my Vinted. The spine is like all cracked on the side, but I'll just put it up for really cheap. And if you want to buy it, I might just leave the tabs in. If some of you would want me to keep the tabs in, it's up to you. I can put it in the description of my Vinted. Whoever buys it, they can, maybe you might want, like I feel like that's really cool. Like buying a tab book from someone and you can see like what they thought was cool enough to tab. I don't know, I'll put in the description when I put them up anyway, but these are going. All the rest are in like perfect condition though, other than this one. And then we've got these two Lee Bardugo books. We've got Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. I'm like still umming and ahhing whether or not to get rid of this. like these two books. I just don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know, because they've been on my TBR for so long, like way too long, that I'm just like, am I ever gonna read these? Like ever? And I tried reading the, what's the other duology called? Like the Grishaverse, the first one she has. I can't remember what it was called. But I tried reading that and I was really confused, like really confused. So I don't really know. I don't know. If they're up on my Vinted, then I'm getting rid of them. If they're not, then I decide to keep them. Convince me in the comments to read this. Like, will I love it? Do I have to read the first series? Like, let me know, because I do just think I want to read these two if I do read them. I'm not going to read the first series. I don't know. Oh my god, these are heavy. Oh my god, I feel like I need to put my hair up because I am literally boiling. I will be back. Oh my god, that is so much better. My hair is just like off of my neck now. I feel 10 times better. But we have some indie books here, which some of you might be excited for. But we've got the first 3 books in the Playing for Keeps series, which is Consider Me, Play With Me, and then Unravel Me. They're obviously all by Becca Mack. I haven't read this series yet. I don't know why I have the indie versions, and I also have the traditionally published ones as well. I don't know if I love this series because everyone I see read this series says that it's really, really cringy, and my like cringe radar is very sensitive. Like I get icked out so easily, which a lot of you probably know by watching my reading vlogs. So I don't know how I'm gonna find these, because I think in Consider Me, which is the first one, yeah, I think he calls his like manhood like his Sword of Thunder. Is that right? I can't. And I only want like multiple copies of books if I really love them. And I don't think I'm going to love this series. And she also has like stopped after the 3rd book bringing out the indie versions. So they're not going to match. Like I'll only have the first 3, and I think there's like 5 books in the series. So if you love the series, then you might want to get your hands on these. They're also kind of in perfect condition other than like the corners. And then another bunch of like indie books, which you'll probably all, not all, but you might be excited about, is the Gold Rush Ranch series by Elsie Silver. I think that's what it's called. But we've got Off to the Races, A Photo Finish, Front Runner, and A False Start. I don't know whether they're in order, but that's what the books are. This is the first series she brought out. I had these gifted to me as a birthday present, which I feel absolutely terrible about, but they were from my ex, so I don't care giving them away. But these were, I bought these, like I had these gifted to me before. What's it called? Before they were traditionally published, but now they've been traditionally published. I much prefer the new covers, and I don't love this series enough. I have read all the books, but I don't love the series enough to want multiple copies. And I much prefer, like if I had the indie versions of the Chestnut Springs, what am I trying to say? Like if I had the Chestnut Springs indie versions, I would be keeping those. Like no one would be getting their hands on those. But these, I don't really care about. I think I just much prefer the traditionally published ones. Plus indie books are really heavy, so again, if I move to Australia and I'm gonna have to ship some books across, these are gonna be heavy, yeah. And then we've got these 2, what are they? Hannah Grace books. We've got Icebreaker and Daydream. These are the work sprayed edges, and I just don't like these sprayed edges, and if I kept this, I would have 4 copies of Daydream, or 3. No, I would have 3 if I kept this. So I've got the signed edition, and then I've got the like Waterstone sprayed edge, and then I would have this sprayed edge as well. And I cannot find for the life of me the Wildfire sprayed edge from the works. It's impossible to find, so they don't really match, and I'm not a big fan of like the ombre. I'm not a big fan of the work sprayed edges, full stop. I feel like they're really like tacky. No hate, but yeah, I'm gonna be giving these away. This one literally still has the price on it. I will be taking these stickers off obviously before I put them on Vinted. Oh my god. Oh my god. Little sneak peek for you guys what these books are. I'm just gonna keep this on my lap and then just pull them out, and then I can put them back in the basket. First off, we've got the Shatter Me series, which is here. We've got the Shatter Me series here. I've read Shatter Me. It has got like a cracked spine. I have read Shatter Me. I've tried to read the second book, and I don't know, I just can't get into it, guys. I really can't. I think if I read it when I was a young adult, when I was a YA person myself, I think I really would have enjoyed it. But as a 26-year-old, I can't get on board. I really can't. So unfortunately, I am DNF in the series, and I am going to be giving it away to someone that would probably enjoy it a lot more than me. But it is like the whole entire series, including the like novellas as well. Okay, so first up, we've got some Colleen Hoover books here. Yeah, we've got 3 Colleen Hoover books. We've got Too Late by Colleen Hoover, Layla by Colleen Hoover, and Heartbreak Bones by Colleen Hoover. I do really love Bones and Layla, and I did really enjoy Too Late as well. But again, I just don't love Colleen Hoover anymore. I've gotten rid of some of the books in the past, but I did keep these because I did really enjoy them. But I'm being ruthless. Like, I'm getting rid of books that I'm never going to read again. I don't enjoy the author anymore. I have kept It Ends With Us and Ugly Love and Verity because they are like my top 3 books of hers, and they are also like one of the few books that I read when I first got into reading, so there's kind of like a nostalgic feeling there. Do you know what I mean? Will I ever read them again? Probably not, but it's just a nostalgic feeling that I'm keeping them for. So I am going to be getting rid of these, and I also think that these two are like indie versions. They've got that like indie feel to them, and they've got like no publisher on them, so I think these are like indie versions. And I think if I did want to buy them, then we'll just get like the traditionally published ones, because these are taller than the rest of the Colleen Hoover books I have, so it's kind of annoying. And then I also have all of these dust jackets. So I don't know whether you can see on my shelf somewhere. My Akatar shelf is the third shelf down. I have like my, what are they called, dust jackets from Etsy, like the special dust jackets from Etsy. So these are just like the OG dust jackets that came with the hard bags. Can I sell these? Does anyone want them? Like, I'll just put them up for like 50 pence. I just want them gone. But if anybody wants them, they're like basically in perfect condition. There's like no rips or anything on them, so if anybody wants them, let me know. I might just put them up really cheap, and then someone can have them and I can just get them out of my house. We're not even halfway through yet, and I've been filming for 20 minutes. Oh, I think I'm gonna keep this. I've underlined some bits in there. I'm gonna keep this. This is 5 Feet Apart. I love this book, okay? I read it when it first came out. I think it was like, I can't even remember when it first came out. It was a while ago, and it was like in that in-between moment where I'd stopped reading for a few years during like my teenage years, and then I'd started reading ever so slightly again. Like, I'd read like 2 books a year, and then I just stopped reading again, and then I picked up reading full time again, and it was just that in between. And I remember I fell in love with this book, and then they brought out the film. That film, like 5 Feet Apart, is my favourite film of all time. Like, if I want to cry, like if you're a girl, then you know, when you just want a good cry, I put 5 Feet Apart on, and I remember I made my sister watch that film a few years ago, and she was bawling her eyes out. We were just there bawling. Like, there's 10 years between me and my sister, and she was just sobbing her heart out. But we watch it all the time now. Like, whenever she wants a good cry as well, she just puts that on. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep this for like nostalgic feelings. Yeah. And then we got 2 Tilly Cole books. We've got 1,000 Boy Kisses and 1,000 Broken Pieces. This is the most recent one that's come out. I think this is the Works Sprayed Edge edition. I read this like 2 years ago maybe, and I did really enjoy it. It was a good book. I definitely cried my heart out, especially at the epilogue. Like, that epilogue really just had me whiplash. But I haven't read this. I bought it and I just don't feel inclined to read it. Like, I've got so many other books that I want to get to, so yeah, I'm gonna get rid of these. And then again with this is The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith, and then The Way I Am Now by Amber Smith. I read this, it was like a 3-star. Again, I did enjoy it. Well, I say enjoy, there's not much you can enjoy about this book. It's about like sexual assault, and just read the trigger warnings if you do read this, definitely. And then this is like the sequel after like she's like how she is, so like The Way I Am Now after everything that happened in this. And I just don't feel inclined to read this. I did rate this a 3-star because I felt really, I don't know, I just felt really weird like rating it, but I did, in my head it's like a 3-star, and I just don't feel inclined to pick this up, so I am going to be giving these away as well. And then another series that some of you might be happy that I'm selling, but it's my Lauren Asher Dirty Air series. These are the indie versions. They are in perfect condition. I enjoyed this series when I read it, but me and Lauren Asher just don't get along anymore. I have kept the Dreamland Billionaire series, I think. No, that's somewhere in these boxes as well. Yeah, me and Lauren Asher just don't get along anymore. I don't know why. I tried to read her new series, the Lakefront Billionaire series, I think it's called, and we're just not clicking anymore. And this series again is indie published. It's really heavy. If I was to like send these across to Australia, that would be very expensive, and I just don't love the series enough to keep it. Like, I'm never gonna reread it. So one of you, if you love these and you want indie versions, keep your eyes peeled. I feel like I'm giving away like half my book collection here. And then this isn't like, don't be alarmed guys, please don't be alarmed, but I am selling my off-campus series. These are the like People editions, the first editions. I much prefer the new versions of these, so I am going to be buying the new editions because I also have the, what's it called? Braille series. I have those in the new versions and they didn't match these, and I know you can still buy the Braille series in this version, but I just don't like people on my covers. I don't like these covers, so I'm going to be giving these away and then buying the new versions of these because I do love the off-campus series. I speak about it all the time and I just want the new versions. Now we need to move on to the boxes. I need a little snack break first because I'm starving. Right, snack break over. I don't know, I hope everyone, like, I have to put these on Vinted. Do you know how much work that is? Because you have to scan every single book when you put a book up on Vinted, and it's the most tedious thing ever. But anyway, I hope you all just buy them all at once. So just go all at once and just do one trip to the impost and just send them all at once, and then they can all be gone and I cannot be surrounded by cardboard boxes anymore. But anyway, we got Filthy Rich Vampire by Geneva Lee. Again, this has been my TBR for so long, I just don't think I'm gonna get to it. Like, Danny, my friend, keeps on telling me to read it, but I'm just not gonna get to it, guys. I apologise, but I'm not. There's so many other books that I want to read, and I'm not a big vampire lover. Like, there's some exceptions, like the Blood and Ash series, like, but like just true vampire like books, I don't know why I just don't get along with. Unless it's Stefan and Damon, then I get along with those just fine. And then we've got Dragonflight by Anne McCaffrey. I have recently just bought this within the last like year. I just don't feel intrigued to read this. For some reason the writing's really weird and really big, like, and bold for some reason. I don't know why, but I don't know. I just don't want it anymore. I'm not gonna read it. I don't need to give you a reason. And then we've got the special edition of Spectacular by Stephanie Garber. This is a Caraval novella. I really didn't like this book. I don't know why. I feel like it was just the Donatella show. I wasn't a big Donatella fan. I'm more of a Scarlet girly myself. Much prefer Caraval than Legendary. And then I feel like this was literally just a Donatella show and I didn't like it. So if you love Donatella, then you will love this book. Then you can have it. And then we got Wild and Wicked Things by Francesca May. This was on my TBR recently and I said if I don't read it then I'm getting rid of it. So I'm getting rid of it. Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. I've read this. I wasn't a big fan, so I don't want to continue the series, so I'm getting rid of it. Keep Me in Your Heart by Monica Murphy. I read A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. I loved it at the time, but her stuff now just isn't my cup of tea. I think I read another Monica Murphy book. I can't remember what it was. I read it on my Kindle and I really didn't like it, so I'm going to be giving this away as well. I think this is her most recent release. And then we've got Wake Up Nat and Darcy by Kate Cochran. I tried to read this and I just really didn't get along with it. I have no idea why, but my friend Danny is obsessed with sapphic romances, so I feel like this will be right up her alley. I just don't know why. I just can't. I've read like 2 sapphic books and one was alright, the other one I didn't like. I just feel like I need to find the right ones for myself. Do you know what I mean? But this wasn't for me, so I'm gonna see if my friend Danny wants this because she loves a sapphic book. Plus it's post-romance, so I feel like she'd love this. Yeah, I'm gonna put this in a little Danny pile. And then we got The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. There's another Erin Morgenstern book in here somewhere, but I don't know what that is. But we got Night Circus. I still don't know whether I want to read this, but this has been my TBR for so long. Convince me to read it in the comments. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, because I feel like everyone was raving about this when it first came out, and I feel like everyone and their mother and their grandmother has read this book, so I feel like I'm missing out, and I feel like it's right up my street. And then we've got A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I tried to read this recently and I DNF'd it. I had no idea what was going on, none whatsoever. And then we got, is it just this 3? Yeah, we got 3 Ella Mays books here, which is Marriage for One, To Love Jason Thorne, and The Hardest Fall. Me and Ella Mays don't get along. No, no, no. These are way too cringy for me. They're not my cup of tea. This is really hurting my arm. That's better. But then we got Bone Witch by Rin Chupaco. Should I keep this? No, I've had it on my TBR for a while. I never seem to pick it up. I've never added it to any TBRs of mine. I've just not been close to reading this, so I'm gonna give this away to one of you guys. And then we've got Megan Quinn's Vacation Wars. Is it Vacation Wars? Yeah, Vacation Wars. I listened to this on audiobook and I did enjoy it, but I didn't love it. There's only like a select few of Megan Quinn books that I do enjoy, and this wasn't one of them, so I am going to be giving this away. But it's the perfect book to read like in the summertime, definitely. And then we've got An Arrow to the Moon by Emily Exarpan. Again with this is just something that's been in my TBR for so long and I've just never picked it up. I've never added it to any TBRs or anything. And then if you watched my first ever TBR takedown video, I read This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi and I didn't get along with it. I think I rated it a below a 3-star. It was definitely below a 3-star, I think, but I had the whole series so I'm gonna be giving these away. Some of you absolutely love this series. I wish I was one of them, but Tahara Mafi's writing in these books was way too complex for me. Even though they're YA, the way she writes is so like poetic, mix that in with like the fantastic elements of everything. My brain was scrambled. I had no idea what was happening half the time, but that wasn't like the author's fault. Tahara Mafi's writing is beautiful. It's just not me. It's not for me. And then we've got can I speak? Emma Lucy's Live Ranch Love. This again, Ikrida, not my cup of tea. And we got Brandon Sanderson's Tress of the Emerald Sea. I've debated getting rid of this or keeping it. I am going to be selling it because it just doesn't sound like anything to me. I haven't read a Brandon Sanderson book yet. I have still got one Brandon Sanderson book, which is the first book in the Mistborn series, I think it's called. So I'm going to keep that, but this is not my cup of tea. A lot of you said if like this is like very complex for him and like not to start with this. So I don't even know whether I like his writing. So I'm going to start with the Mistborn series, see how I feel. Maybe I'll buy it again in the future. But again, if I go, like, I'm thinking ahead. If I go to Australia, like I'm just trying to think ahead, you know? Like getting rid of all these books now will help future Brie in 6 months time. Well, less than 6 months time, because I'll have to start packing up in November. That's so scary. And we got Dragonfall by L.L. Lamb. Again, this has been TBR for quite a while. I've never physically added on to any monthly TBRs. I've never been close to reading it, so yeah. Oh my god, are they gonna fall? No. And then lastly we got Fear the Fames by Olivia Rose Darling. There's like dust on this. I read this recently and I really did not like this. Did I DNF this? I can't remember. Did I read it? That's how like irrelevant this book is in my brain that I can't even remember whether I read it or not. I think I did read it because a lot of you were saying, what did I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. But this like perked up? No, like went viral. That's the word I'm thinking of. This went viral sort of when it was indie published, but apparently when it got traditionally published, there's like 100+ pages that got taken out of it and like everything changed apparently. So I think if I'd read the indie version instead of the traditionally published one, I might have enjoyed it a bit more because there was a lot of like, when I was reading it, I was like, what's happening? Like I feel like we were just like jumping from one thing to the next and we weren't really jumping from one scene to the next and then back to the other thing, then being told anything of what was happening. I feel like we were just like jumping to another thing and then back to the other thing, and I was like, whoa, chill. And all without reason. Oh, I think I just moved you guys by mistake. Now on to the big boxes. I forgot what I put in these. Okay, starting off, we've got Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Again, this is another book that I've read and I just didn't enjoy. I think I've got some of the other books in here by her. Maybe I've got the second and maybe I've got the third as well somewhere in here. But yeah, I didn't enjoy this that much. I think I DNF'd this. Did I? I think I did DNF this. Maybe. I can't remember, but I'm not continuing with the series anyway. And then we've got two other Lee Bardugo books. We got Hellbent and Ninth House. Again, Lee Bardugo just doesn't intrigue me. I might really enjoy these, but again, I'm thinking ahead for December time. And then we got Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. I think I read this in a reading vlog, maybe, and I didn't enjoy it. Anyway. This is the other Erin Morgenstern book, which is Starless Sea. For some reason, I just don't want to read this. And then we've got Stephanie Archer's series, which is Queen's Cove series. I got the first two books, which is That Kind of Guy and The Wrong Mr. Right. This was alright, and then I tried to pick this up and I just couldn't get in with it. I love Stephanie Archer's Vancouver Storm series. Her most recent book, Gloves Off, 5-star. I literally loved that book so much. It was like the perfect enemies to lovers, but this series, I don't know why, I just don't get along with. This is the other Lauren Asher. Now that I'm looking at these, I'm like, should I get rid of them? But it's the Dreamland Billionaire series. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of these just for the simple fact that the covers don't match anyway, because this is like the newest version and then these are the older versions. So if I do wanna rebuy them, then I would just buy them all to match anyway. So for now, I am gonna part ways for these. And then we've got Bridget Kamira's Forging Silver into Stars. I think I read this in a TBR takedown video maybe. I'm not too sure, but I really didn't vibe with this. Bridget Kamira's Defy the Night trilogy, 5-star series. I love that series. But for some reason this, I really didn't like. Funny You Should Ask by Alyssa Sussman. This has been in my TBR for so long. I think I might keep this. I think I might keep this. It's really short. I think I'm going to keep this, and if I don't read it this summer, then I'll give it away. Keep pile. The Light We Lost by Jill Santopolo. This has been on some of these books in here have been on like in unhauls before, but like no one's ever bought them, so we're promoting them again. But this has been in a few unhauls and for some reason no one wants to buy it. So if no one wants to buy it, then it's going to a charity shop. And then two recent books that I've recently read and really didn't like are Close Protection by Eden Victoria, which is very sad. I thought I would really enjoy this, but it just wasn't for me. And then The Night Witch, which is I think my most recent DNF. This wasn't for me. No. I think if you're a bit more intelligent, you will enjoy this, or maybe if you know German or Latin, you will know this. But I think this is a German book translated to English, and there's still quite a few German things left in there, and my dyslexic brain was like, I have no idea what's going on. No. On to some hardbacks. We've got The Dagger and the Flame by Catherine Doyle. I did read this. I enjoyed it. It was like a 3-star, but I don't enjoy it enough to keep the hardback. And even if I had the paperback, I'd probably get rid of the paperback anyway. But this is the Fairy Loot edition with the sprayed edge and everything. It is a beautiful cover, like the inside and everything. The art and the reverse dust jacket is all stunning. So if you did really enjoy this, then you can get your hands on a nice Fairy Loot edition. Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. It's been ITBR for quite a while. It's the Waterstone Sprayed Edge edition, but it's come out in paperback, and I think, like I've already mentioned, I want to try and get rid of my hardbacks. I haven't read the Danielle L. Jensen book yet, but if I do want to read it, then I will buy myself the paperback. We've got Terror of Small Fortunes. This is on my TBR for the month of, no, not for the month, but for the summers, on my summer TBR. I do want to read this summer, but I'm going to get myself the paperback. This is, again, a Fairy Loot edition. And then we've got A Dark Undrowning Tide by Alison Saft. I don't know whether I want to keep this. No, I don't want to keep this. I'm going to be getting rid of this. This is a Illumicrate edition. I haven't had a Illumicrate in some time, but I think this has been on a unhaul of mine before, maybe. I think. And then we've got Of Jade and Dragons by Amber Chen. Again, this is a Illumicrate edition, and I just don't see myself reading it, and I'm just trying to get rid of my hardbacks. I really am. Where the Dark Stands Still. This was on my last unhaul, and I did decide to keep it on my last unhaul. Have I read it? No. So we are going to be actually unhauling this book this time. And again, it's a hardback, so we need to get rid of it. And then we've got two books by Hannah Whitten, which is book number 1 and book number 2 in the Wildwood duology, which is For the Wolf and For the Throne. I bought these when I seen them in Waterstones before, and I read this and I DNF'd it because Hannah Whitten's writing, again, no idea what was going on. It was too complex for my teeny tiny brain. And then we've got some other paperbacks. We've got Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mahira. I read this. It was alright. It was like a 3-star, but I'm not going to continue with the series, so I am going to get rid of this. This is like the perfect sort of like rom-com fantasy book though. Like, it was really fun and really easy to read, and I do recommend you read it. Some people absolutely loved it. I think my friend Danny read it and she like absolutely loved it, but it was just like a fun easy read for me, but I'm not like intrigued to go in with the rest of the books. And we've got the Waterstones exclusives of A Curse for True Love. I don't own the other exclusive editions of this series, and if you want to buy the exclusive editions, people are reselling them for like extortionate prices. I will not be reselling this for an extortionate price, so if you do want to get your hands on it, it will be up quite cheap, don't you worry. If I had the other ones to match, then I'd be fine. And A Kiss for True Love was my least favourite out of the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, so I don't need 2 copies. Plus I prefer the pink versions, like the OG ones. And then we got Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I read this, I did enjoy it, but I don't want to continue with the series. It's not a big series, but I feel like I've got so many other series and so many other series that I want to get into that this just isn't like high on my priority. Again, I think if I read it when I was a young adult myself, then I really would have enjoyed it, but 26-year-old me is not so intrigued. Okay, last three. We've got Cassandra Clare's Swordcatcher. This is like the sprayed edge black edition. It's very boring, but this has been in my TBR for a long time. I think I bought this, me and Danny bought one each when we went to London. I think it was when we went to Piccadilly Waterstones, like the biggest one in Europe, I think it is. And that was for the first time we went, not December just gone, it was December before, so almost 3 years ago. It was like 2.5 years ago, and I haven't even attempted to pick this up, but I do think it's come out in paperback now, so I will get my hands on the paperback if I do want to read it. And then we got Foshi's Wrath by Emily Varga. My recent Waterstones trip when I went to Manchester, I bought the paperback version of this, not realising that I had the Fairy Loot edition of this. So because I have the paperback, I am going to be getting rid of the Fairy Loot edition, because even if I love it, again, it's a hardback, even though it's a beautiful hardback. Like, these are stunning, and I think the end pages are even prettier. Like, the naked hardback is stunning. I love this, but again, I have the paperback version. So, and then lastly of this box we got Leigh Bardugo's The Familiar. I just feel like I've got so many Leigh Bardugo books and I haven't read a single one. Not a single one. I do think that her writing is going to be too complex for me. I say too complex as if I'm like the stupidest person ever, but because I'm dyslexic, it takes me a while to like understand what the hell's going on anyway. And sometimes when people write too whimsically, is that a word? Or too like poetically, my brain can't decipher what's going on. It can't. So, and I feel like Leigh Bardugo is going to be one of those people, so I'm going to be getting rid of this. Again, no, this is like the Waterstones sprayed edition. Right, let's pack these books up and then move on to our final book. I've been filming so far for 63 minutes. Finally, the home stretch. So first up in this box we've got Throne of the Fallen by Kenny Maniscalco. I've got the paperback version of this, so I don't need the hardback. We got Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. This is the indie published version. I have the traditionally published version and I don't need both of them. Again, I'm thinking ahead of future Brie. I did love this book though. This is a 5-star. I am due to do a reread of this, I think, because I absolutely love this trope. Oh, Danny's ringing me. Oh, okay. Where was I? I think I was speaking about this. I can't remember what I was saying, but it's the indie version. I have the traditionally published version, so I'm gonna get rid of this. And then we got yet some more Leigh Bardugo books. We've got King of Scars and Rule of Wolves. I think you have to read the first two books in the Grishaverse before you read these two. And like I've already mentioned, I don't want to read them, so I'm obviously not gonna keep these. And then we've got these two big Samantha Shannon books. We've got Priory, The Orange Tree and A Day of Fallen Night. These are massive hardbacks, okay? Like massive, and if I do want to read the series I will get the paperbacks. Yes, I will, because there is no need for me to keep these. They're huge, and again, if I want to start shipping books out to Australia, then I'm not shipping these out, because that would be like £100 just to ship these, because they weigh a ton. Here's the original OG Fourth Wing cover. It's just a plain one, but yeah, we've already spoken about that. This is the second book to Belladonna. This is Foxglove by Adeline Grace, obviously. And then I've got, where's the other one? We've got the UK editions of the Caraval trilogy. Again, like I've mentioned, I love this trilogy. It's one of my favourite trilogies, like YA trilogies, but I despise the UK editions. Like, those spines are not it. They're really not it. I have the US versions because I much prefer the US versions. I did speak about this in my bookshelf tour. I don't like these covers, not at all, so I'm going to be getting rid of those. And then we've got Daughter of the Pirate King. I have read this. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Will I ever reread it? No. Will I read the second book to this book? The sequel maybe, or whatever it is. What's it called? Daughter of the Siren Queen? No, I will not. So I will be getting rid of this. This is like the US version though. It's really floppy. I don't know why I have the US version. I bought Rough Hinted and the US version came. Oh my god, we're on to the last few books. I'm so excited. We've got The Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. This is again on my summer TBR, but like I've said a million times, it's a hardback. I want to get rid of all my hardbacks. I am going to read it maybe this summer, but I don't want to get rid of my hardbacks. But it is beautiful. Like, those sprayed edges are so cute. I do love this cover. It's so cute, but I'll get a paperback version when it comes out. I don't think the paperback version's out yet, but when it does come out, then I'll read that. And then we've got the hardback version of A Curse of True Love, because when I started reading the series, the first 2 books were out in paperback, but then this book was only out in hardback, so I had to get the hardback version. But now I have the paperback version, I don't need the hardback version. And then we got All the Devils by Caitlin Wilson. This isn't like a thriller, I think, or like a horror maybe. I'm not too sure, but it's not up my street. I don't know why I have it, but it's not my cup of tea, so I am going to be getting rid of this. I honestly buy books for the sake of buying books. It's a problem. And then, if you know me, I have a JLA book here, and you're probably like, Brie, why are you getting rid of a JLA book? This is A Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the 3rd book in the Blood and Ash series. This is like the tall version. So when I bought it from Amazon, I didn't realise that you can change the format, and the first 2 books that I had in the series were the shorter versions. They were like a little bit bigger than like standard paperbacks, but if you can tell, this is like really tall compared to, it's like 1.5 inches bigger than a standard paperback. So this was like really tall next to them. So I ended up going back onto Amazon, changing the format, getting the other one to match the other ones that I have in the right size. So I'm obviously gonna get rid of this because it'd gone past the return date on Amazon, so I'm gonna be getting rid of this. And then we've got 2 Sarah A. Parker books. We've got When the Moon Hatched. We've got the OG cover hardback, and then we've got the Fairy Loot edition of When the Moon Hatched. This is stunning. Like it's absolutely stunning. I pre-ordered this when I hadn't even read the book, when I had a Fairy Loot subscription, because I thought I was going to read it and I thought I was going to love it, but I still haven't read this. And it's been that long that it's been out that the paperback version is now out. So again, I am going to buy the paperback version, but I am going to get rid of the Fairy Loot edition as well, because I just don't feel like I'm going to love it that much. Like, I just don't think I will for some reason. I don't know why. But if you do love this book, then you can have a Fairy Loot edition. It is stunning. And then last but not least, we've got another Fairy Loot book, which is A Language of Dragons by S.F. Williamson. This, I have no idea what it's about, but it's very stunning. The sprayed edges are absolutely stunning on this. And I think the naked hardback is really beautiful in this one. Yeah, it's got like the dragon going all the way around it. It's really stunning. I love this cover, but again, it's a hardback, so I don't want it. I feel like I don't think I've kept a single Fairy Loot edition book I have. I had a subscription for a few months and then I just got rid of it because I feel like every book I was being sent just didn't intrigue me that much, and I'm just very much a mood reader. And then obviously now, if I'm going to be doing this big move, then I can't have all these hardbacks, and I don't know why. I don't know. I feel like the sprayed edges and stuff is really cool, but unless I love a book, then I don't want the hardback version because it just takes up so much space. And I am a paperback girly. I love paperbacks, so I feel like just having hardbacks, it just wasn't my cup of tea. I look like I have no arm like that. So yeah, that's why there's a lot of hardbacks in here. So if you are a hardback girly, or if you love special editions, then this Unhaul is definitely up your street. But that was everything. I'm so glad I filmed this. I've been saying in so many videos that I'm doing an unhaul, and I finally got it done. I now need to edit this video and get it up for you guys by tomorrow because I need this video up. As soon as this is up, I can then put all of these on Vinted, and then yeah, I might start putting them up on Vinted tonight actually. No, I can't edit a video and put these on Vinted. Like, who do I think I am? I'll edit the video, upload that tonight, and then tomorrow at 6 p.m. it will go live, but I'll start putting up the books before it goes live, maybe. I'm not sure. But there will be some books up by the time this video goes up tomorrow, I promise you. But my link will be in the description below for you guys to head over to my Vinted and have a nose. You guys should follow me over in Vinted as well, because again, in the future, when I do this big move, there'll probably be another unhaul coming. So make sure you are following me. Usually throughout the years, I add some like books on here and there. Like if I DNF a book, then I just chuck it up on Vinted, or sometimes I just take it to the charity shop or give it away to a friend. But I hope you guys enjoyed anyway, because I know I enjoyed that it's done. And I'm now surrounded by books, like just surrounded by books. I think I'm going to keep them out of the box because when I ship them, it's going to be hard like going in and out of the boxes. So I think I'm just going to stack them all up on my wall over here next to me, and then I can just grab the books whenever someone buys them and ship them off. It would just be much easier. But yeah, make sure you follow me on Vinted, make sure you subscribe as well, because we've got some very exciting videos coming up for you guys now that I'm settled into my new place. We've got some very exciting videos that I'm excited to share with you guys. I can't wait to start back reading reading vlogs. I haven't done a reading vlog in so long, so I'm very excited to start those back. I'm actually starting a very excited reading vlog tomorrow, sorry, so keep your eyes peeled for those. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Yay! And I'm gonna stop rambling on now because my camera battery is flashing and my camera's about to overheat because I've been filming for an hour and a half. So I'm gonna love and leave you guys, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye!